All right, the first question. May biked 6 3/4 miles today, and Noah biked 3 3/4 miles. How many times, so that's A, the length of Noah's ride was May's ride? So that's my equation. So I'm going to make a fact family. So I'm going to do 3 3/4 divided, or times A rather, equals 6 3/4. I'm going to do 6 3/4 divided by 3 3/4 equals A, and then I could do 6 3/4 divided by A equals 3 3/4. So this is the problem I'm going to do. So the first thing I need to do is need to make them both be fractions. So I'm going to multiply, and that's going to be 27. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27, over 4. Divided by 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15, over 4. Remember that I'm going to multiply or divide, so my answer is right here in my numerator. There's my answer right there, but it's not over here. That is my answer. So I have to choose from these choices which of these are the same as that. So please choose your answer. Question number 2. Select all the equations that represent this question. Priya is stacking building blocks to make a tower. She takes a break when the tower is 2.5 feet tall, which is 5/6 of the height of the tower. How tall is the tower when finished? So we're trying to figure out the height per tower. So the height is this, and the tower is this. So you're going to make a fact family and then choose, this is an A, choose which of these match over here. Okay, next one. Select all the statements that correctly show the reasoning for finding 12 divided by 3/5. There are 2 answers for this question. And there are 2 answers for this one. All right, so I'm going to look at this. 12 divided by 3/5. So the first thing I have to ask myself is, are both numbers fractions? Then the second thing I have to ask myself is, do they have common denominators? So that's what you have to do for this one. So you have to first figure out, what does this look like when they're both fractions? And then you have to figure out, what do they both look like when it's both common denominators? Question number 4. Whiskers the cat weighs 2 2/3 kilograms. Piglio the cat weighs 4 kilograms. How many times as heavy as Whiskers is Piglio? How many, that's what I don't know, times as heavy as Whiskers is Piglio? So now I need to set up my math problem. So I'm going to make a little fact family. So I could do 2 2/3 times A equals 4. I could do 4 divided by A equals 2 2/3. Or I could do 4 divided by 2 2/3 equals A. So I'm going to go ahead and, are they both fractions? So I've got 4 divided by 2 2/3. This to be a fraction, I'm going to put 4 over 1. And then this is going to be 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 2, which is 8. Okay, so are they both fractions? Yes. Now I need to find a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 3. So this one's okay. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to change this one to thirds. Times 3 times 3, this is 12. So now my problem is 12 thirds divided by 8 thirds. And you can go ahead and find your answer. Noah's bucket is 2/5 full, and the water weighs 2.5 pounds. How much will the bucket weigh when it is completely full? So I'm going to do the weight divided by the bucket, because I want to know the weight per bucket. So the weight is 2.5 divided by 2/5. Are both numbers fractions? No. So this is going to be 5/2 divided by 2/5. I have to find a common denominator, which I'm going to use 10. So, to multiply by 5 and multiply by 5, so that's 25/10 divided by, multiply by 2, 4/10, and then I get my answer. Last question. Select all the equations that can represent the question, how many groups of 4/5 are in one? So this is my first thing. So I'm going to do 1 divided by 4/5 equals A, and I'm going to make a fact family, and I'm going to choose which of these matches what's over here.